Hey, what's up, David here with New Video Effects, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at VC Colour Vibrance, created by Video Copilot. So yeah, we're going to be looking at that plugin. So what I have here is a shockwave, and it's by Video Copilot again. So shockwave, and then if we go into our effects, we've got to click the layer, effects, Video Copilot VC Colour Vibrance, and this is the plugin. So you can do some cool things with this. So first off, the most important part is the color. So we can change the color of the layer, or whatever you want the color. We got vibrance. Now what's interesting about the vibrance is that the more vibrance you have, the more like intensity of the color you have. So if I lower this down, or wait, if I set this to 1, you can see here it's a little bit of orange reddish, but if I set this up more, we're getting more of a pink color. So that's pretty interesting. What else do we have? We've got preserve luminance, so we can drop that down a bit. Yeah, we can see the luminance. We've got brightness, and I think we all know what brightness is. If you don't, I highly recommend you go on the internet and looking it up on the dictionary, because it's pretty important. Okay, we've got gamma, so we've got gamma. If I drop that down, yep, so we've got gamma. Yeah. And then we got fill empty background. Now I will talk about that in another separate side of it, so don't worry about it. We'll talk about it. We got invert, so we can invert the color, so we get this really cool intensity of colors going. See, got this black instead of white, and the background as well. Okay. What else do we have? So we got this option called matte alpha. If I switch this to on, and then I can turn up the alpha boost, so we can see here we're getting some alpha channels getting boosted. So for those who don't know what alpha channel means, it means transparency basically. So I've got click this like checkerboard, and that's just a transparent grid. So if, just to make it a bit clearer, so if we set this up, it's, oh no, so if we set this down, sorry, we can see here we're losing some detail on the shockwave, and if we set this back up, we get some more detail. And we can set matte only. I don't know what that does. That doesn't look like it does anything. I don't know, maybe it does do something. If you know what it does, comment down below. Yeah, so that's basically matte. That's pretty much it for the plugin. Nice. Let's reset this, and shut the effects off. So if we go into color correction, curves, and we wanted to make it an orange color, so maybe I get that red up, maybe bring the blue down all the way down, and get this nice contrast with the green maybe. So yeah, it's a lot of work for when you're using the curves adjustment, but you get more control out of it. So you got to decide between control or speed. So if you want to use the color vibrance, you can just instantly get a color like that or something. And if you wanted to get that pink color, just turn up the vibrance, and then there you go, you'll get something. So yeah, but you don't get much control out of VC Colour Vibrance. So what I suggest is, so if you want to get more control, use the curves, but it will take longer. But if you want to get speed, use the color vibrance, but you're not going to get much control. in terms of color. So yeah. Okay, so I've got these particles flying here, and I'm just going to do a quick preview. So we've got these particles flying abnormally. I know. So in order to get this effect, I just did a little bit of a play with particular. So what I have here, if I hit U for umbrella, so what I have is I got some keyframes for particles per second, position, emitter for X and Y, and the spin amplitude. Okay, so it goes up to 40 particles per second, and then 50, and then it drops down to 0. Okay, because I don't want it to produce more particles. And I'm basically moving the X and Y position, so I'm moving the particles anchor point from this end to other end just to get that momentum. Emitter X and Y. Yeah, so I want it to start small and then grow along the X and Y axis. And the spin, I want it to spin from 133 to 259. Okay, so it's mostly the physics area of this effect. So I set the air resistance to 0.5, spin amplitude, yep. Wind 102, wind Y 9, wind Z 74. And then spin frequency was 2.9, and then I wanted to affect the position and complexity 7. Okay, so those were my effects, or numbers. Yes, numbers. Oh, and the rotation as well was 161. Okay, cool. Now if we come back to this, I'm just gonna shut the glow off and the motion blur. Okay, so VC color vibrance, the fill empty background. So basically, particular only produces particles with an alpha channel. So if we put particular on this effect, that black solid goes away and only the particles gets produced. So you can see here, you can only see the particles. That's not what we want, okay? We want it to have a fill black solid. So that's where this feature comes in, fill empty background. And that produces a solid composite on the layer, which is really handy because especially when you want to do some glow or color correction, you really want to get that intensity of the color. As well as if you do color correction on an alpha channel, it'll just look disgusting and bad. So I highly recommend it. So that's what it does. And if you want to, I don't know, set this, you can set this to add if you want. I don't know, do whatever you want. It's a free country. So yeah, that's basically what the fill empty background is. Yeah, and I just added some motion blur. I set the shutter angle, so if we go into the comp settings, I set the shutter angle to 540 degrees. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So thank you everyone. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you learned interesting techniques for your own creations. Please give a like, subscribe, comment down below. I do appreciate the support, guys. And if you know anyone who might be interested in these kind of things, please spread the word. Alright, until next time, I will see you in the next video.